Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start with the lesson Principle of Inheritance and Variation, class 12, CBSE boards. And the book that I'm going to follow line by line, word by word is NCERT class 12. And because I want to start with this chapter, and I know that children of class 12 have done this chapter in class 10, but now it's a big unit, and it's where this section or this unit of 12th biology is very, very important. So before getting into the chapter, I would like to talk about few terms here which I should think that you should be clear before learning the concepts of the chapter. I also want to say one thing, that line by line and word by word is very much important here. That is why I'll be going through the chapter, or each and every line of the chapter will be read out to you all and explained to you all. So let's begin with the lesson here, chapter 5. As you see here, have you ever wondered why an elephant always gives birth only to baby elephant and not some other animal? Or why a mango seed forms only a mango plant and not any other plant? So general questions, given that they do, are the offsprings identical to the parents, or they show differences in some of their characteristics? Have you ever wondered why siblings sometimes look so similar to each other, or sometimes even so different? So these are certain related questions that are dealt with and scientifically in a branch of biology known as genetics. So genetics is a branch of biology, children, where we are going to study regarding inheritance, variations, and all these topics we are going to do under this subject called genetics. Okay. And as you see the next line, they say is the subject deals with inheritance. Now what actually is inheritance? You can see on my screen there is a definition of inheritance: the method by which alleles are passed from one generation to another is called inheritance. Now children, you have to mark or you have to understand few terms. So here a new term has been added, which is known as allele. We also call allele as factors. हम alleles को factors भी कहते हैं. Now what actually is this allele? Now every gene has two alleles. Every gene has two alleles. Suppose in class 10 you have done the monohybrid cross of tall and dwarf plants. Yes, do you remember? So here in that case you used to write two capital T's. Remember, you used to write two capital T for homozygous tall and two small t's for homozygous dwarf. Now why were you using two t's? Because that gene was of height, that gene was representing the height of plant, and that gene was containing two alleles. So that capital T is one allele and the other capital T is also the second allele. Now in heterozygous, what was the first generation that you were getting? The first generation was capital T and small t. So in this case, it is heterozygous, one capital T and one small t. So what are the two alleles here? The first allele is capital T and the second allele is small t. So this is actually what allele means. Allele is also known as factor. So see, what is the definition of inheritance now? The method by which alleles are passed from one generation to another generation is called inheritance. Then they say also right here, gametes are produced from reproductive cells by the parent. We have done this in first unit of your book. Each gamete contains a single allele. We know that gamete is always haploid. है ना? Gametes are always haploid. So each gamete will contain one allele, like the gamete of this tall plant. When you just separate them, when you just I'll just show you the monohybrid cross. I suppose that you all must be recalling you had done this monohybrid cross. Let me show you one monohybrid cross. Now you see, suppose I take this example of monohybrid cross. Now you can see these are the gametes, right? Capital G, and small g. So small g. These are the gametes, and each gamete is having only one allele because gametes are haploid. But after the recombination, see, this is diploid, and now this is having two alleles. One allele is capital G and the second allele is small g. So I hope you have understood what are alleles or factors. Okay. Now let us come to this paragraph here. These and several related questions were dealt with. We have done this. Next, the third paragraph. Let's come to third paragraph. Humans knew from as early as 8000 to 1000 BC, that is before Christ, that one of the causes of variation was hidden in sexual reproduction. They exploited the variations that were naturally present in the wild populations of plants and animals to selectively breed and select for organisms that possess desirable characters. Now, what are we trying to do? We have so many wild varieties, and what are we doing now? We are trying to make new combinations by using some wild varieties and some domesticated varieties, so that we can get some new desirable character that we want to consume or use for ourselves, for human use. And we have done this since time immemorial. We have done this since time immemorial, and we are still doing it now. For example, now you have to underline this, children. Through artificial selection and domestication from ancestral wild cows. Underline this. We have well-known Indian breeds. Example, Sahiwal cow in Punjab. Please underline, because one marker questions can come. So, what question can they ask you? That how did we get the Sahiwal cow? Yeah, Sahiwal cow belongs to which state of Punjab? State of India. So the answer is Punjab. So you have to be particular with each and every line. So how did we got Sahiwal? We got Sahiwal by breeding, artificially selection. We got Sahiwal by artificial selection of domestication and of ancestral wild cows. So we tried to domesticated the wild cows, and there were variations, and then the breed that we got was Sahiwal, that is in Punjab. We must, however, recognize that though our ancestors knew about inheritance of characters and variations, they had very little idea about scientific basis of these phenomena. Of course, because they were just doing the process. They were not knowing how these processes are being done, because the discoveries or inventions were done later on. Now you see on this page, just on the side, you have the seven characteristics of seven pairs of contrasting characters of pea plant, which was studied by Mendel. This you have done in class 10 also. So these are the characters, and these are the dominant one, these are the recessive one. So if we talk about seed shape, so round is for dominant and wrinkled is recessive trait. If we talk about seed color, yellow is dominant, green is recessive. If we talk about flower color, violet is dominant, white is recessive. Similarly, pod shape, full is dominant and constricted is recessive. Pod color, green is dominant, yellow is recessive. Flower position, that means where the flower, where will be the flower position. If the flower is axial, okay, that means it is in the axis, okay, so that is dominant. And if the flower is terminal at the tip, then it is recessive. Then stem height, see, if it is tall it is dominant, and if it is dwarf it is recessive. So these are the 7 pairs of contrasting characters. Now why was contrast studied by Mendel? The question arises ki why did he took only the 7 contrast, why not the other characters? Children, because human psychology easily understands difference. ह्यूमन साइकोलॉजी इजीली अंडरस्टैंड्स डिफरेंस मीन्स जब भी हम किसी बच्चे को कुछ पढ़ाते हैं और हम उसको डिफरेंस में पढ़ाएं, उसको जल्दी समझ आता है, ठीक है, कि बेटा ये पतला तो ये मोटा, ये बड़ा तो ये छोटा, याद करो, आपको ऑपोजिट्स हमेशा जल्दी याद होते हैं, और जो सिनोनिम्स है, मीनिंग्स है, वो देर से याद होते हैं. इसलिए मेंडल ने कंट्रास्टिंग कैरेक्टर्स को चुना ताकि वो देख सके कि कंट्रास्ट को हम कितनी अच्छी तरह से ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हैं और उनके डिफरेंस को हम लोग बहुत इजीली नोट कर सकते थे. दैट इज व्हाई 7 कंट्रास्टिंग कैरेक्टर्स. ओके, now let me read here. It was during the mid 19th century that headway was made in the understanding of inheritance. George Mendel conducted hybridization experiments on garden peas for 7 years. Please underline this. For how many years did he did the experiments? For 7 years, from 1856 to 63, and proposed the law of inheritance in living organisms. During Mendel's investigation into inheritance pattern, it was first time that statistical analysis and mathematical logic were applied to problems in biology. Very important lines here. Please underline. Now they ask that do you think, sometimes they even ask you, do you think that statistics and mathematical logic is required in biology? आपको क्या लगता है, क्या statistics से और ये numbering से और ये पूरा हिसाब किताब रखने से क्या biology की studies में help होता? तो यस ऑफ कोर्स होता, बिकॉज जितना स्टैटिस्टिक होता है हमारे पास या मेंडल के पास था, और जितना उसने मैथमेटिकल लॉजिक लगाया, उसको कैलकुलेशंस इजी हुई, उसको रिजल्ट पता चला, और फिर बाद में वो रिजल्ट्स को अज्यूम करने लगा कि अगर मैं ये ऑप्शन लूं तो मेरा रिजल्ट ये हो सकता है, राइट. सो इससे उसको अपनी रिजल्ट तक अप्रोच करने में बहुत मदद मिली. तो स्टैटिस्टिकल एनालिसिस और मैथमेटिकल लॉजिक पहली बार बायोलॉजी में यूज हुआ, इससे पहले कभी नहीं होता. So his experiments had a large sampling. अब आप खुद सोचो कि जब मेंडल 7 कैरेक्टर्स को स्टडी कर रहा है, 7 कैरेक्टर्स एंड फॉर हाउ मेनी जनरेशंस, जस्ट इमेजिन कि कितना जबरदस्त उसके पास सैंपल होगा. और अगर वो उसका स्टैटिस्टिक्स ना बनाता, अगर वो उसको मैथमेटिकली अरेंज नहीं करता, तो उसकी स्टडीज बहुत मुश्किल होती करनी. इतना रिमेंबर कहाँ कर सकता है कोई, है ना. which gave greater credibility. और क्योंकि statistics था, क्योंकि numbers थे, तो अपने आइडिया को प्रूफ करने के लिए भी